What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast for March 9th, 2022. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here with my co-host, Rome. How you doing tonight, man?
Your co-host, the Broken Predictions World Champion.
Broken Predictions World Champion, yes.
But yes, no, I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Right on, man. Excellent episode tonight. I don't think I was ready for so much good wrestling on the Wednesday after an amazing pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was really interesting because I was expecting a very story-heavy show, which it was very story-heavy. I was really shocked with how much they kind of jammed into that last hour. I mean, I think I texted you halfway through the show. It was like 8:50, what was it, 8:55, and they showed like what's coming up still, and I'm like, oh my God. Like this is about to be like Rampage levels of like just nonstop.
Yeah, just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
All right, so we started off with Jericho coming out. I wasn't expecting that after I saw that we had the two title matches on the show. I thought we were going to start with a title match and end with a title match. Although technically the title match was the first match, you know what I mean? But so Jericho comes out. He says he was a douchebag and says he wants to shake Eddie's hand, so he calls Eddie out. And the first thing I wrote down is this is obviously a ruse. What about you?
I mean, I definitely thought that the rivalry was definitely not over. I don't know. I wasn't really 100% sure where it was going to go. I thought that Eddie Kingston and Jericho both have the ability to really kind of swerve the audience. So, I mean, I wasn't 100% sure where it was going to go going into it. But I thought Jericho did a great job seeming really genuine when he came out. And then what followed was a really emotional promo from Eddie Kingston. And this is why the fans love Eddie Kingston, because his promos just resonate so strongly with people. You know, he's talking about about his own mental health struggles, his own challenges and addictions and whatnot. And, he brings the reality into it where it's like, he probably was terrified Friday night before Revolution. This was like a really big match for him.
Yeah.
One of the biggest of his career. And, him going to the fan fest and people saying that, like that shit's real, man. And it resonates. It really does. And it's so genuine. And it's just incredible promo.
Yeah, he actually got to me when he started kind of having trouble speaking a little bit. You could kind of hear his voice was cracking a little bit, and then there's one spot where he had to wipe some tears away from his eyes. That actually got to me a tad bit,
Yeah. And again, it just you resonate with it. It's all great talkers in professional wrestling can do this, where it's just you feel it. It's like whether it's something that really hits home with you, or it's just something that you can kind of interpret your own meaning from it, where it feels relevant. And Eddie Kingston week in and week out does promos like these. You know me, I'm really big on promos. The promo side of professional wrestling is what really captivates me, and it's just a really good promo.
Yeah, I thought it was an absolutely fire promo. The crowd started doing a what chant, and Eddie shut him down right away, and I absolutely loved this because I can't tell you how much I hate the what chant. I really, really despise it. And for some reason, unless Stone Cold's in the ring, because if he's in the ring, it feels like it's the thing to do. But
yeah, it's his gimmick.
Yeah, but anyway, when I hear it at shows that don't even have anything to do with Stone Cold, like Eddie said, Steve Austin's not here, pal. I hate that chant. I was glad he shut it down.
So this is, and I completely agree with you. This is something that's really been bothering me the last few months, where I feel like every other show we have like a guy who decides to be the heckler, who's gonna say some dumb shit or be controversial or be stupid and kind of try to like bum the show out. And it's like, I'm not trying to say that fans can't cheer or boo or do whatever they want, but this isn't like, I don't know. It's just, behave accordingly. Like, again, the what chants are stupid. They have no place there. It was like the one dude when Moxley came back, talking about his alcoholism and shit. Like, it's just.
Oh yeah, and that guy.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you doing? Like, you can cheer or boo whoever you like, but I don't know. Again, maybe it's just because I'm a big promo guy. Like, I hate when the fucking audience tries to ruin a great promo. Obviously, an audience can also make a promo, but there's also, reverse effect on that.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think it's gonna stop in AEW soon because the wrestlers respond to it, and it probably doesn't look good in the audience there. In WWE, they weren't allowed to respond. You know what I mean? Like they just had to take it. Here, they're gonna be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Fuck you, bro."
Yeah, I 100%
So
agree. But so, getting back to the segment at hand, Jericho apologizes. They shake hands. 2.0 and Daniel Garcia come out and attack. Um, I don't know if you noticed, but Jericho, they kind of didn't touch Jericho. They kind of like softly pushed him aside.
yeah,
Um,
I thought that was a
well, there's a
botch until what happened.
I was like, oh, it's interesting. And then, Santana and Ortiz come out to make the save, um, kind of swing the momentum back around. But then Jericho attacks Santana and Ortiz, turning on them and finally successfully breaking up the inner circle. Jake Hager comes out, seems very confused, very upset, but also swerves and joins Chris Jericho, which I think that was the right move.
Yeah, I do as well. I didn't think he was though. I thought he was actually gonna try to help them out, but nope.
Yep. So, the beatdown ensues, and then we get Jake Hager putting Eddie Kingston power. No, I'm not even gonna say putting. That's putting it lightly. He power bombs Eddie Kingston out off the apron through a table. Appreciate the shout out to the podcast.
Yes.
Um,
I hope Eddie's okay. By the way, that was a nasty table
that
spot.
was a really rough table spot. We've been getting some really rough table spots. I'm glad.
You
Namesake of
guys
the
don't have
pod.
to shout us out every week. I swear, it's okay.
We're super relevant right now. But man, it was a really nasty spot. Looked great, looked fantastic. Afterwards, Jericho grabs the mic and says that this is the Jericho Appreciation Society. Um, I get it. The name, not a fan of the name.
Yeah. I think it was meant to be bad. I think Jericho chose a pretty bad name on purpose because it's going to be a really bad heel group, especially with the 2.0 in there. But I do have to say, they missed a golden opportunity to just make this the Inner Circle 2.0.
I agree with that. I saw your tweet about that, and I was like, yeah. I mean, that would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah. I do think I don't know, like that my idea with Daniel Garcia joining John Moxley, and you know, I think that might be out the window because of this, but you never know.
After tonight, I actually kind of see it going more of a tag team direction than a
Yeah,
faction direction.
yeah, same.
But I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we have Dante Martin versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Title. Um, I thought this was a really great match, really fun. I think it was a nice change of pace for Hangman Adam Page's title reign
Yeah.
so far. What did you think?
I thought it was exactly what anybody would expect that match to be. Like if you know Adam Page and if you know Dante Martin, you pretty much knew what was going to happen in this match, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. My favorite spot of this match was kind of the finish. I really love the finish of this match. It was a different way of Hangman hitting the buckshot. Thought it was a really, really awesome finish. After the match, Tony Schiavone comes out, interviews Hangman Adam Page. Hangman tells Dante Martin to come back to the ring. He gives Dante Martin praise and shakes his hand. I thought that this was a great way to kind of give Dante Martin that send off because, Hangman said it himself. Dante Martin has been holding down the fort for Top Flight for the past 13 months, being a singles competitor. And I think that he did a phenomenal job. He really showed that he's more than a tag team wrestler. But the thing is that most of these AEW tag teams, they're great wrestlers by themselves.
Yep.
And this was just, the AEW roster is so strong that, these guys are all throughout the roster at all levels of the card.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it was just a great moment, and it just kind of continues to hammer home the point that Hangman Adam Page is the greatest babyface in professional wrestling right now. There's no denying it. That it's not even close.
Well, I'll say I'll disagree with that slightly, but we'll talk about it later in another segment. So, real quick though, on this match, I did want to talk about one spot that was just insane. Dante Martin went for that top rope missile drop kick, and he leapt about as high as he could up in the air, and he came down into a power bomb from Adam Page. I thought he was dead. I thought that was the end of the match. I was like, oh, you don't even need to finish 1, 2, 3. I'll be just fine with it right there.
Yeah, it was a great match. It was very entertaining. Really, really, like you said, really great night of professional wrestling. Usually these post pay-per-view shows I feel like are more promo heavy, and there was definitely some great promo work here, but like a lot of really strong wrestling.
Yeah. I think we even missed right before this. There was a quick vignette of a recap of the Punk and MJF match. But neither of them was here tonight. Pretty sure they were both home resting.
Yeah, it was a nice little recap. I really like the CM Punk quote that he gave there about, that CM Punk is dead. Long live CM Punk.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Can't wait to see what Punk does next, but Punk deserves to take the week off, as does MJF.
Yep.
After the Dante Martin Hangman Adam Page interaction, Adam Cole comes out, congratulates Adam Page on getting lucky and that it was a fluke. Adam Cole says, you gave everything you had, and I took it, and you beat me once, and congratulations on a fluke victory. I'm going to make your life hell. He says that next week there will be a 6-man tag versus Adam Cole picking 2 partners and Adam Page picking 2 partners. So it seems like the Adam Cole feud is going to continue, which I'm all for.
Oh yeah, I'm all for that as well. I was actually hoping that somehow this feud ends up with Adam Cole as champ. So if they extend it and give Hangman a couple matches in between and then give it over to Cole, I'm totally fine with that.
I agree with that. I mean, we'll see what happens. I think Adam, again, I think very highly of Adam Page right now. I think he's really just killing it, everything he does. So, I mean, I don't know when the right time's going to come along, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know how deep into like Bret Hart's matches, but there's a match with Bret Hart where I can't remember the other wrestler at the moment, but at the end of the match, the dude puts the belt on to Bret's waist, and I think we're gonna see a Punk Hangman recreation of that where he's gonna lose to Hangman and put the belt around his waist.
Yeah,
I want to say it was Bobby the Brain Heenan, but I can't remember who it was. Oh, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Okay. So next up we had Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley versus the Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry and JD Drake.
Yeah, that came out of left field because JD has been with the what's those guys' name? The Wingmen?
The Wingmen, yeah.
And all of a sudden, his normal tag team that he's with around all over the Indies is here. I like this. That guy Anthony Henry is very good.
I agree, and I kind of feel like maybe that's why Tony Khan called him in, just to shake it up a little bit. I mean, I think Tony Khan knows what he has with the Wingmen. I think it's a good idea for Tony Khan. We talk about this all the time. Tony should be constantly monitoring the market and trying to make AEW the best roster that it can be. So, I mean, I thought this was a great idea to bring these guys in, and it also added a little bit more of a serious tone to it because the Wingmen are kind of more of a heel comedy group for the most part. But man, I thought it was a really great match, but it was kind of quick to the point, showcased how this tag team operates, moving with high intensity when the bell rings, all the way through to like really brutal tag team maneuvers. Bryan Danielson and Mox pick up the win, and then we get a phenomenal promo from William Regal. Would you like to talk about it?
So that promo that William Regal cut was absolutely amazing. I actually did not know that Tony Schiavone helped him as much as he did get him into the business, back in the day. I loved this promo. He called Danielson the perfect wrestler, and I was surprised Bryan Danielson didn't start crying right there and then because I would have.
He was getting a little emotional. I mean, him and Regal were both pretty emotional during
Yeah,
this. I thought this promo was everything that I love about William Regal.
absolutely.
It was funny, but he's a gentleman, but he's serious and he'll kick your ass, but he got to sprinkle in calling someone sunshine. It was just really good. And it always feels really good for these guys to get that first promo outside of the Fed, because you just kind of you can feel it. Like the weight's just kind of lifted. Like Regal's talking right now, and he's cutting the first genuine promo that he probably has ever, like, not ever, but done in a long time by himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like usually, even in NXT, I'm sure that they were like, all right, we'll say this, and then you're going to do this, and then you're going to do this. Like, no, like this tonight was Tony Khan said, I'm giving you the mic, do what say what you got to say, and have fun with it, man. And that clearly came out here.
yeah.
So I
I
thought this
loved
was good.
the last part of his promo. Step up or get stepped on. That was really good. I loved it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
All right, so after that, we had a quick Dark Order promo where Hangman came to apologize, and who is it? Alex Reynolds there was a little like, he didn't say a word. He just kind of stood there looking pouty. Evil Uno was like, yeah, everything's fine. Let's go have ice cream, you know.
Yeah, and thank God that this promo happened.
Yeah,
Because I disagree with Mr. Evil Uno. I am so happy that it seems like we're going to start going towards Hangman Page and the Dark Order splitting up. The Dark Order seemed very excited. John Silver's like, oh, well, who are you going to pick for this six man? And Hangman says that he ran into Jurassic Express and they want to get their hands on the Bucks, so they are going to be teaming with Adam Page. The Dark Order kind of shakes it off. Colt Cabana tweeted out after the segment was over, I really had my heart set on being in the six-man tag, with a broken heart emoji.
oh
This, I like, man, like, we talk about it a lot, and it's just, I'm really happy to see the Dark Order move on to something else. Them being Hangman's lackey has really hurt them really badly. So I think this is actually going to be a really good thing for them, and we'll see where the story goes. Should be hopefully it's an enjoyable ride.
yeah, I agree. I actually wrote down here, after Hangman walked away, I wrote down, separate them, please.
I wrote yes with 3 exclamation points.
Yeah. So next up, really, really good match. Yuta versus Pac. Wheeler Yuta's from Philly. Am I correct?
You are 100% correct.
Yeah. Shout out to Yuta. What's up, man? Come on the podcast.
I love Wheeler Yuta.
He is amazing, man. I love that guy. I know you're a big Best Friends fan, so go ahead with this one.
So I thought that number one, there was a great news update on Orange Cassidy's shoulder injury. No surgery is required, but he is going to be out for some time. No timetable given, but no surgery is always a good thing. That usually means you could probably assume it's under 2 months. That's usually a safe assumption.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. But the thing about Orange Cassidy is he can be an integral part of the show and still do his thing without getting in the ring. So I mean, he'll be there week to week, and we'll see him, and it'll be fine.
What's up, Snow
I
Jordan?
also,
Welcome to the show.
what's up, man? No, you're good. Another thing I thought was really cool was just kind of the reason why this match was added to the card. Because the world title match did not go on as long as expected, so Tony Khan felt the need to book an extra match. I love the realism of that. I love the reasoning for it, and this was a fun match. There wasn't really any reason for the match. It was just, two guys in the ring, great wrestling. Um, I felt like we had a few of these matches throughout tonight where it was some unique matchups, and it was definitely a breath of fresh air. But I thought
Yeah.
this was a really fun match.
The depth of the roster definitely shined. Tell you that much.
Absolutely. But yeah, I thought this was a great match. Pac wins. I would assume that Death Triangle is going to move forward with their feud with the House of Black, but we will see what happens because we did not see House of Black tonight.
Yeah. Alex Ibrahante is in that outfit. I just don't know, man. I don't know. I want to love it. It looks like I should love it, but I don't.
See, it was pointed out to me that like he looks like Sadler from Resident Evil 4, and
Yes.
now like that's all I can think about.
And that's all I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it.
No, yeah, I don't hate it. I can't get into it. I'm just like, all right, man, better go somewhere.
Maybe if Abrahantes got sprayed with the black mist too, I'd feel a little bit differently about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like he didn't, right? I don't think he did. It was just Penta.
Yeah, it was just Penta.
Yeah, I mean, I get it though. Penta went through a little bit of a gimmick retool, and Abrahantes is his manager, so it makes sense. Again, I don't dislike it. Like I think I like it more than you do. I think based off the vibe there.
Probably.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, like I don't hate it. It's a little silly, but I mean, again, I guess it makes sense for the feud he's in right now.
Yeah. So Jordan pointed out for that Bret Hart match, it was Piper at WrestleMania 8. So thank you, Jordan.
There you go.
Makes even more sense now too.
Oh yeah, especially with the Piper connection.
Yeah, Piper putting the belt on Bret Hart. Yeah, I think that's gonna happen with Hangman.
Yeah, I could see that happening. It'd be great. I look forward to that match.
Oh my god, I might cry.
All right. Next up, we had the Cutler Cam. We have the Bucks, Red Dragon, and Adam Cole. The Bucks and Red Dragon are arguing. Cole, earlier in the the last segment with Cole and Paige, Cole was kind of implying that it was going to be the Bucks to face Paige. Here the Bucks kind of say, we don't want any part of Hangman. We have history with him. We're going to set this one out. And Cole says, well, I was picking Red Dragon anyway, which I kind of saw this swerve coming. I didn't think that the Bucks were going to go that direction.
Yeah. So you heard that too then, right? He picked Red Dragon?
Oh, yeah, he totally picked Red Dragon.
Okay, because everybody all over Twitter is like, oh, I wonder who he's going to pick. Is it going to be Red Dragon? And I'm like, he did pick Red Dragon. I'm like, did I miss something? And people are like, what if he picks the Briscoes? And I'm like, were you people listening? He picked Red Dragon. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's really interesting because he picked Red Dragon. I mean, that was
I heard it too. I think it's just a bunch of people not listening.
probably. But no, I thought this was a great little segment that kind of furthers this storyline along. It's interesting because they're talking about the 6-man tag happening next week, but at the end of the show, it does not get mentioned in the preview.
Ooh, okay.
That leads me to believe that Tony Khan does not like to mislead people. So that tells me that match specifically is not happening next week.
Yeah. Huh.
I have theories, which we'll talk about when we get to the preview for next week. But I mean, I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So next segment, we get a quick little FTR promo
which I loved.
FTR, I thought it was really good. FTR fired Tully Blanchard.
Yes.
So let me ask you this: do you think there's two ways that this goes? Number one is that Tully's kind of wrapping up with AEW, and this is just the way to write him off. He's an older guy, so he's probably not going to take any bumps on his way out. Or do you think that this is Tully going with someone else?
I feel like it's going to be Tully going with Shawn Spears, maybe, right? Because didn't he kind of hang out with Shawn Spears a little bit as well?
He did. That's true. He started with Shawn Spears before FTR.
I think FTR is going babyface, and I think Bret Hart's getting involved. And the reason I say that is because FTR just tweeted, "Hey Bret, what are you up to?"
That's true. It's a possibility. I mean, it was definitely a very babyface heavy promo from FTR. Talking about the importance of family and whatnot.
Oh yeah. That was. I'm almost positive that was them turning babyface.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I mean, we'll see where the storyline goes. I mean, the Pinnacle is still kind of a thing, so it would be kind of weird for FTR to just kind of randomly go babyface.
I mean, now with Wardlow gone, yeah, you're right. I haven't seen FTR hanging out with them in a while, but it wouldn't surprise me if they came out to assist in something. So yeah, they are probably still together.
Yeah, but this could be the beginning of a change.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, because the Inner Circle's gone, the Pinnacle can be gone as well.
Yeah, I think that's something that's totally acceptable.
Yeah.
All right. So next we have. So this is pretty much the halfway point of the show, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Considering how much is left. after this.
I couldn't believe it when you texted me. I was like, "There's still an hour left." What?
Yeah, there's just all this stuff. And so the first segment we had in the top of the hour was the AFHO emergency board meeting. And I thought that this segment, obviously, we're going to talk more in length about it. I think that this segment started off awfully. It was just really bad start.
Yeah. The only part
And
I
I think it
liked is
was,
when Andrade was like, "Tranquilo," you know. But like you said, it was kind of bad because the way it started was just right to the point. Like, "You're trying to fire me already," like, and we were like, "What? I thought this was just a meeting," and he was already
yeah,
complaining about getting fired. You know, that was weird.
yeah, it was really weird because no one at any point has said that. And I've watched everything that AEW's put out since the pay-per-view. And it was like we had the Isaiah Cassidy Matt Hardy thing, which obviously teases a breakup, but there was no indication from anyone that Matt Hardy was going to get fired. And so yeah, I think that this was just a victim of time. I think Tony Khan said, "You guys got to get right into it, like go go go."
Yeah.
Um, and it really hurt the beginning of the segment. Now the segment rebounds and becomes very good by the end of it. But yeah, it was a really rough start to a really really good second hour of Dynamite.
Yo, Jordan just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Thank you very much, Jordan.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
Right. So yeah,
So
it
yeah,
started off. It was just clumsy the way it started off. I think they had to rush it. That's all, because they had a lot left to go.
I agree. So they're all standing in the ring, and as we discussed, Matt Hardy saying, "I can't believe you guys are trying to fire me." Andrade says, "Why aren't you wearing a suit? Like, what's going on?" Matt says, "Every time I put on a suit, I become an asshole,
Yeah, I wrote that
and
down too.
I don't want to be an asshole anymore." So this is no longer Big Money Matt. This is just Matt Hardy, and he's turning face here. And they go to a vote, and Andrade votes to kick Matt Hardy out. Matt votes for him to stay. Jose, the assistant, votes him out. Matt Hardy had assumed that he was safe because Private Party had voted thumbs up to keep him in. However, as Matt had his back turned to them, they put their thumbs down, and the entire, now I would assume they're called the AFO, unless they change their name, turn on Matt Hardy and start beating him down. And then we get a little bit of a swerve where Sting and Darby Allin come out. Now, I had looked at it this morning and I had saw that Jeff Hardy was free today.
Yep.
Today was the 90 days. So I thought that, it was a pretty good chance that we were going to see Jeff tonight. When Sting and Darby came out, I was like, maybe we won't see Jeff tonight. Maybe they're going to hold off a little bit just because it's such an obvious thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
luckily,
I felt like we were going to see it no matter what when the crowd started chanting Jeff, Jeff, Jeff. And, I love the fact that Jeff Hardy's name is Jeff because I'm Jeff, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, right.
As soon as I heard those chants, I was like, Tony has to give it to him. I was like, there's no way he doesn't come out now. And boom, sure enough, there it was.
Yep. And as I told you, we did get the Hardy music, which is incredible. So I actually did some research this morning, and well, actually, yeah, I did. I read it somewhere, so I guess it's technically. The content was originally owned by Spike TV, which is why WWE did not own the rights to it. WWE just used it. They started using it during their Spike TV days, and the Hardys, it stuck with the Hardys. So WWE didn't own the music, which is why Tony Khan can use the music.
Yep.
And I really appreciate Tony Khan when he's able to go out and get this music for these wrestlers that matter. He does it, and it really completes it. It makes it a lot better. But so Jeff Hardy does debut. We do get Hardy Boys reunion. Jeff Hardy comes out, helps clear the ring out. Hardy's hug, and we get a really cool shot with Darby Allin.
So
And
did you see this as Darby and Jeff kind of squaring off, or what? Did you see this as Darby and Sting squaring off with the Hardy Boys?
I saw this as Darby Allin marking out for a guy that he probably idolized as a kid.
Okay, yeah, I saw that too. But then Matt kind of started clapping, like looking at Darby and Sting. And to me, it felt like this was going to be a tag match. Some people are saying it's going to be Darby versus Jeff, like Darby was marking out, like you said. But it felt like right there at the end of it, the way that Matt started clapping, I felt like it was a tag. But I'd be happy either way.
I mean, I do think that we're going to get Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin. Darby did tweet about it later, saying that all it said was charismatic enigma. Um,
Yeah.
we're definitely going to get that match, but I think that that's the intention of it. I think it's a Darby Allin marking out, knowing that he has to get into the ring with Jeff Hardy. And I'm all for that match.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That look on his face, like, could you imagine being Darby tonight, being in the ring with those three fucking legends, like essentially some Mount Rushmores in the ring with him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, absolutely. And I think it's kind of interesting that we have these pillars that we talk about, in AEW, and Darby being one of them. Tony Khan makes sure that these pillars are getting a lot of exposure and working side by side with a lot of legends. You have Sammy working with Chris Jericho. You have um, Darby doing all this stuff. Jungle Boy's been getting involved with Christian, and also he's had some pretty high profile matches with other legends, including Jericho. Um, it makes stars and it builds to the future. And AEW is going to be just fine in a couple years when a lot of these legends kind of move on.
Yeah. I saw an interesting graphic tonight during Dynamite. All of our current champions are homegrown AEW stars. So when everyone's like, they hired too much WWE talent, I'm like, look at what happens. The WWE talent puts over the AEW talent.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how to do it. You just do it right. I mean, I don't think it matters whether they worked at WWE previously or not.
No,
Personally, I'm of that opinion. I mean, you quit it, you leave a job. What are you supposed to not work ever again? Like that's just
yeah,
asinine.
yeah,
But it's just it's how you do it. It's how you make stars because you can't just rest on your laurels and you know you can't book your biggest pay per view of the year and have to rely on Logan Paul, Johnny Knoxville, and Steve Austin, who hasn't wrestled in 20 years.
yeah. God.
Well, you just can't. Sorry, it's your weekly reminder. Fuck the Fed. Um,
Yep.
all right. Anyways, so yeah, this was started off as a really rough segment, ended up being very good. We got Jeff Hardy debuting. He is all elite. Setting up for some really fun matches in the future. The Hardy Boys are on their last run, and we are going to like the fact that they're in AEW is really cool because AEW's tag team division is so stacked
Yeah.
that there is just like so many matches that the Hardys can have in this last run, and I'm really excited for it.
Dude, I don't know if it can happen, but I want a three-way with Hardys versus the Briscoes versus FTR in the same ring. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that'll be great.
All right, so after Hardy, we had a quick promo with Swerve letting us know he was going to be performing on Rampage, so that gets me excited for Rampage. Well, we'll talk about, Rampage's card later. Swerve is just a star, dude. That dude just oozes like when people say that guy has it, he's just like emanating it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is coming from a guy who hasn't really watched any of his stuff. He's got charisma, he's got character, and I'm looking forward to watching Rampage this Friday and seeing what he's got.
Yeah, for sure. Next up was Wardlow and Tony Schiavone, correct?
Yes, so we do hear from Wardlow here. This is the first real time where they let Wardlow go and cut a promo, and I think he did a really nice job with it. I thought it was really good.
Oh yeah, he's a good talker. I did not think he was going to be a good talker, but he definitely was.
Yeah, I was very surprised by it, especially considering how little he's talked in his time so far in AEW. And again, talking just like the Kingston promo, this is a very good promo, but it was also a very relatable promo. You
Yeah.
know, knowing that you have to sometimes do what you have to do to survive, and work for people that you don't want to work for, like that's something that a lot of people can relate to. And yeah, I mean, it was a really good promo. It establishes who Wardlow is as a character, as his own being, his own thing. And it tells you what he wants and what he's going to do, and clearly clearly we can see where his first feud is going to be. Um Basically he's telling Maxwell Jacob Friedman, you better release me from my contract cuz I'm not doing anything for you at this point.
Yeah. So obviously he's got the next shot at the TNT title, right?
He does, and we will talk about that in a little bit.
Yep. So yeah, we'll get more into Wardlow when we get to that. So I do want to say he speaks very well. There's one thing that just if I had to nitpick on the show, this was the only part is where Wardlow started getting kind of personal, about his mom and his family. That's too many people getting personal in their promos for me. I like when everyone gets, I like when they get personal. It's fine. It's just when everybody's doing it, it reduces the impact of, the future guys doing it, I guess. You know what I mean?
I hear the critique. I don't think that there's too many doing it. I mean, I understand the point that there's two promos on the show that kind of get real, but I mean, they're all human beings with stories. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's not exactly like their stories are the same. Wardlow's talking about dealing with not having money growing up and his family being poor. Kingston's talking about mental health struggles. So
Yeah.
I understand the critique. I mean, I think that the best way to get promos out of these guys, or not, these wrestlers, these people, these human beings, is to let them be honest and genuine. And if that means that
Yeah.
I'm going to get a few promos a show that's super real, like, even if they sound a little similar, I'm okay with it. I'd rather that than the alternative.
Yeah, I got you. I just felt like a little bit of this promo could have been accomplished throughout the storyline with MJF. Like MJF could have been like, "Listen, man, you were poor growing up. You're, this and that with your mom. You're like, I helped you into this business. You know what I mean? Like, they could have included some of this promo into his actual story, and we could have already known this."
I agree with that, and I can understand that. I just think that the point of the promo was to really establish Wardlow's character,
Yeah.
because up until now, Wardlow's character is MJF's bodyguard.
Yep.
That's his character. We got the sprinkled stuff of like he's not an AEW contracted wrestler. He's MJF's contracted bodyguard who happens to somehow wrestle as an independently booked guy on the show. So it's like, like I think this promo was important and had to happen. I think it needed to come from Wardlow, so that way he could tell his story.
Yeah, I agree. Just
But
if I had to
I
nitpick,
think
that's all.
you're
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
You definitely have a valid point. You like I see it, and I agree with it.
Yeah. All right, so next up, we had a quick promo with Keith Lee and QT Marshall. I love Keith Lee's promos. They're getting better and better. And for anybody to say that Keith Lee got released because of the way he talks, I freaking love the way he talks. He talks like a king.
Yeah, super good. I
He's
know
like eloquent, I guess would be the word,
yeah, man, eloquent. Sorry, I had a brain fart there.
But it was funny. QT was kind of like trying to bribe him into being on his side against Team Taz, and he was like, "I don't want nothing to do with you, bro. Get out of here." And
It was
then
like, join the factory, man. We'll beat up
yeah,
Team Taz.
QT
He's
was
like,
like,
nah,
"You'll
I'm
pay
good.
for this," and I was like, "Pay for what?" He just told you to go fuck yourself. That's all.
Yeah, I thought it was a funny little segment,
Yeah,
and
it was
it
good.
sets up a match on Rampage, which we'll talk about, and cool.
Can't wait to see him get Uncle Phil'd across the universe.
It's gonna be great.
QT.
All right, next up we have the AEW Tag Team Championship match, the Jurassic Express versus the Acclaimed. Started off with a fantastic Max Caster rap as usual.
I
Really
think
love the. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it was one of his best raps in a long time. I thought it was fan freaking tastic.
It was really good. I love the price of gas line, and then the Jungle Boy, you've never seen boobs line. I was like, all right, well
Yeah, got
that's
that
really
head full
good.
of hair. You can't grow pubes.
Um, I'm telling you right now, and you can timestamp this or whatever you want. Someday, the Acclaimed are going to be the World Tag Team Champions, and it's going to be awesome.
um,
Um,
I, I hope so. But I don't hope it's soon because they're still they're not green by any means. They're both great wrestlers. I just don't think it would be time to put them yet. They're kind of like I put them in like a best friends setting. Not necessarily a comedy routine, but close to it.
I get it. I don't. I'm not saying soon for them either. I do think there's some time to come. Um, but I mean, you could be funny but still be a great tag team.
Oh yeah, they're
Like
great. I'd love them. Don't get me wrong.
best friends are funny too, but they kick ass. Trent
Yeah.
and Chuck Taylor are awesome. Um, but anyway, I thought that this led to a really excellent match. there was my favorite spot of this match was towards the end of the match where I really thought the Acclaimed were actually going to win. So Luchasaurus gets kind of knocked off the ring, and they do this really, really cool tag move where Caster kind of puts him up, and Bowens kind of brings him down like a side slant. I gotta watch it again to kind of analyze it a little bit better, but it was a really cool move, and it was a really close 2 count. I for a second was like, wait a second, are we getting a title change here? Like, holy shit. But no, it does not happen. Jurassic Express wins the match. But I thought this was excellent. What did you think?
Yeah, that would have been wild if we had a title change. I would have flipped out. I'd be like, what just happened?
Yeah, it was close. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
That
Which one was it?
Again, I have to go back and watch the move again. But so Caster kind of lifted Jungle Boy up, and Bowens essentially kind of brought him down like on his side. And then he went for the pin, and it was like a really close, like extreme, like I thought it was 3, extremely close 2 count.
Must have missed it. I'll have to watch that match again.
Yeah, it was a really cool move. I probably have seen it at some point, but I don't recall seeing it before.
I think I was putting out a tweet about Jeff Hardy or something.
Maybe. I mean, but it was, if you missed it, you got to go back and watch it because it was a really cool spot. It was like right after where Bowens was arguing with Aubrey. Like, it was 3. I thought it was 3 too, but I guess it wasn't.
Okay, yeah. I think I did miss that, but I remember seeing him like yelling at her. It was 3. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my spot of the match. Really awesome match. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. It was just, for me, I didn't think they had any chance, so I was sending out some tweets and kind of just looking up here and there while that match was going on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear you. But yeah, fantastic match. Next up, we had a segment with Jade Cargill. Smart Mark Sterling lists off Jade's accomplishments and the people she's defeated. Hypes up who's next for win number 30. Do you think that we get something substantial here for this 30th challenge? And also, do you think Jade loses already?
So I don't think she loses by any chance. No way. I think they're going for 50 on her, to be honest. And I don't know if you noticed, Mark Sterling had a stint on his finger. There's been like a storyline on Twitter where he's like, my finger hurts. I can't believe she did that to me. And Jade's like, shut up. I got dropped on my head 3 times in this match. So that was pretty funny to see he had the stint on his finger. Or the splint, I think it's called.
Right.
I do not think she's going to lose anytime soon. I love how she called the kiss to Ty Conti her beautiful kiss of death. That's actually the first thing I thought of when I saw them kiss. I was like, ooh, the kiss of death. You know what I mean? So I like that she called it that. I do think we get something substantial for this first match. Do you know, have they announced what it is yet? Have you seen anything?
No, so there was no announcement made yet. And the fact that there's like a buildup going makes me think it has to be someone debuting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's clearly some buildup here. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know, because there's also, keep in mind they're still doing the Serena Deeb challenge too. So I mean, there's definitely some spots for some women to come in and debut, especially now that they're teasing something here.
Now, wait a sec. Didn't she? How many did they say she has? 29 right now?
She's 29-0, yes.
I think she said Anna Jay was next because she got involved in the match.
See, she said that like on I think Elevation or something, but
yeah.
this promo is clearly like saying like who's next. Like,
yeah, I think we'll have to see, but I think it might be Anna Jay. I think she did say, "Bitch, your ass is next."
She did say that. No, she did. But then I feel like there's like something. There might be a change in plan or something.
Yeah, you could be right.
Because she did say that. She did mention that, was including Anna Jay attacking her with the chair at Revolution. It's just I don't know. Again, wording is very particular.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It definitely left you a tiny bit confused, I think.
Yeah, and especially I think that I think Jade, like every 10th win should be something big. I think that that's a pretty good way to do this this build up, as long as they want to go with it. So if it's win number 30, I think win number 30 should be something big. And win 40 and win 50, whatever, however high up they want to go with it.
You know what? You know who would actually fit really well in the Dark Order and who is a female and is not in AEW yet is Athena. And I think that would be a awesome match for her to have a big match, for Jade Cargill to have a big match, somebody who's known, and to do a debut,
I agree. But let's not talk about putting someone else into the Dark Order yet. Because I need the Dark Orders to get some serious change. I don't think adding one wrestler to the Dark Order is going to make it, except for one guy, which I'm waiting still.
Yeah, I see Alex Reynolds and 10 leaving soon. I've just always thought they needed an extra female in there. And Ty Conti hangs around with Anna Jay, but she never actually joined, you know what I mean? So
I don't think it necessarily needs another female. Yeah, agree to disagree. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's no big deal. All right, so next up we get the number one contenders match for the women's title, Leila Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa. I really feel like this Thunder Rosa story is back on track. We were really critical of it on Sunday.
Yep.
But, I think that we talked about it on Sunday, that, the pay-per-view match was very disappointing. And even though it's going to clearly shape up to be better in the long run, it still kind of sucked. So sitting here on Wednesday night, obviously it's a lot different of a feeling now. We had a great match between Thunder Rosa and Leila Hirsch. Leila's on a roll right now. This heel turn has been really good for her because she's been doing pretty good since she turned heel.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and we had a really great match. Towards the end of the match, Leila Hirsch goes to grab that turnbuckle piece again to try to cheat. Red Velvet steps in and stops her from doing so. And as a result, she gets back in the ring, and Thunder Rosa hits her finisher and wins the match. And will face Britt Baker next week
In a steel cage match
in her hometown on her birthday, on the 1 year anniversary show of their last great match.
Now, who said it? Did they say it was on her birthday on the show?
No, I heard it on Twitter. I mean, maybe that's wrong,
So
but I mean,
it is. It's who is it? Brian Alvarez is reporting that it's her birthday. So I looked it up, and her birthday is July 22nd, 1986. So he was definitely wrong, and I don't know why he thought it was her birthday. I couldn't even find anything that said like that was her character's birthday or anything. It was really odd.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I mean, even if you take the birthday thing out of it, still it's her hometown, the year anniversary. So I mean, yeah, that was really cool. And then we get this Britt Baker promo, and I was really expecting a great promo, and I didn't get that.
Really?
I actually, it did not speak to me. It felt like a rehash of all of the old promos that she's done against Thunder Rosa. There was one line that I really liked, and it was the Riff Raff Carney line. That was great. That was a great line. But I just felt like everything else in that promo I had already heard from Britt before. It's like I felt like we were still listening to the build up to the Revolution match.
So
again, except for that one line, it just, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me.
I wrote down the exact opposite. I wrote, Britt finally came out with a fire promo for me. I thought it was great. But then I immediately wrote, but I can't wait to see her lose that title to Rosa.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It just did not hit me. I mean, like, the promo was like focusing on like Mercedes Martinez still, and it was like, oh, well, they're gonna face on Rampage, which it's good that the match is happening. I think that's a rivalry I want to see, and I'm really excited for this match on Friday. But it just, I don't know, it felt a little disjointed. And again, like, I think a lot of the bullet points, the talking spots, were spots that we had heard last week. It just felt like a rehash.
I can see that. I think I was just blinded by the gear and the new belt. The gear and that belt go together so good.
No, yeah, they do, and she looks great. I'm really looking forward to this title reign ending, though. I would love to see Britt Baker kind of get back on track for me.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. It's been a very poor title reign in my opinion. And
Yeah.
she tried to sell me on this match, and thank God Thunder Rosa has me sold on this match because she didn't sell me on this match.
Yeah. Remember back, were you watching the E when Seth Rollins had those two little dudes with him, Jamie Noble
Yeah.
and I think it was Joey Mercury?
Yeah, that was before the divorce, yes.
Okay, so it seems like this is what they did with Brit, like with her two flunkies. She became Seth Rollins to me, but they didn't have a monster like Brock Lesnar or anybody that was really, really good to make her look good as well. So I felt like her entire reign did fall flat to me just a bit. But like you said, I do want her to drop this to Rosa, and then I think she's gonna go on a really good run. I think she'll do much better without the belt on her for a little while.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And we got Jordan saying, "I need Britt to win with fingers crossed." I'm sorry, Jordan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too, man. I like Britt Baker. I really do. I feel like I come off as such a Brit. I feel like I come off as such a hater to Britt Baker, but it's like week in and week out. But it's just like I really liked her stuff before she became the champion. I thought she was really, really good, and then just kind of like fell off a cliff for me. Just didn't do anything for me.
Britt's definitely my girl. I still like her, but it's time to drop it to Rosa. It's Rosa's time. She's really hot right now, all over the indies across the whole country.
She's so over right now. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like she lost the match and it had the desired effect because she came out tonight and people were like 100% for her winning this match tonight. And that's
Yeah,
how
and
you know it's time.
and we'll most likely get another rematch, you know what I mean? I don't think Britt's gonna lose her belt and not like exercise the rematch clause like most champions do. So
Yeah, well, I don't think AEW technically has a rematch clause.
I
Rule.
think you're right. They did say that they don't have one of those, but like, you know,
But
I think
Tony
it's kind
Khan
of
will
one of
book the
those
match he
things.
sees fit. So it's like it's a smart way to do it because that way you're not doing 50-50 booking. Like not every champion, like it shouldn't be a set in stone rule that every champion gets a rematch if they lose. Like it
Yeah.
just shouldn't be. But sometimes for the sake of a feud, it makes sense. Like for example, like Kenny Omega lost the title. Like yeah, he took time off after that, but if this was the Fed, Kenny Omega would have been hurt for another month and wrestled at the next pay per view and lost. You know what I mean? It's just like like no, we don't need that.
Yeah. And we got Jordan saying, I think he's saying Britt's the best women's promo in the biz. I would have agreed with you a few months ago before something clicked inside Jade Cargill. I think Jade Cargill is putting out the best women's promos right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, I'd really have to kind of sit down and think about it. But I
Yeah.
definitely agree with you. I think Jade is a really good talker right now. I think that's one of Jade's best attributes. You know, she's still getting better in the ring and she's still like honing her craft. But you know, she is a phenomenal talker who has a hell of a great look.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think Britt Baker is a great talker too. Like in this title reign, Britt Baker's best moments have been on the mic, hands down.
Yep.
You know, just this past one, just tonight didn't do it for me. It just felt like a rehash.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, I do think Rosa, when she does her half English, half Spanish, and she starts screaming and yelling in Spanglish, I love those promos. So I think she's right up there with both of these ladies.
I 100% agree. It's she's very passionate, and again, I'm a big guy of big fan of relatable, passionate promos. If you believe like if you don't believe in your promo, why should any fans believe in your promo?
There you go. Exactly.
Like
Yep.
why? Like tell me why. Tell me why I should care. You know what I mean?
Like, dude, people are saying, I don't even want to say people. I'm just going to. Did you see the promo from the E with Omos, the giant that they have now?
No, but I saw a pretty bad promo from Edge last week.
Where he was basically Aleister Black.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? He's like, I'm omnipotent. And I'm like, who the fuck wrote this for you, Adam
Yeah.
Copeland? But I know you're a better talker than this. Who wrote this for you?
Yeah.
Somebody wrote this promo for Edge. And Edge really took this promo and delivered it.
Yeah.
And I was like, who did this?
The dude Omos, he's like 8 feet tall, right? They
Yeah,
filmed it
I've
with the
seen him.
camera on the floor pointing up at him. It was the dumbest thing I have ever seen with what they were doing with this camera. It was so stupid.
I don't know, man.
was so dumb it made me
But
forget my point of why I was talking about that. Put it that way.
bad promos, but yeah.
Yeah, bad promo. That's it. Yeah.
It was a bad promo. But yeah, so it's like that's why I care about promos so much, because it's like a bad promo can ruin an entire storyline. A great promo can make a storyline.
Yeah.
If you have a bad match, like it doesn't necessarily mean like it's going to be a bad feud. Like, all right, maybe they'll bounce back and have a good match. But like,
Yeah.
if the promos are bad, then it's just not. It's like you just can't do it. It's just not going to work.
Yep. Jordan, I don't understand Rosa half the time either, man. It's just part of her thing, you know. It's all good.
She's just fire. She's just hot.
So next up we had the TNT title match with Sammy and Scorpio Sky. This match was absolute fire, man. What did you think?
Yeah, man. This match started at 100 miles per hour, and it slowed down when they hit a speed bump, but for the most part, it stayed a very intense and very fast match. Man, Sammy Guevara really just felt like giving us a shout out tonight with the broken table. He did a 630 senton through a table, which Scorpio got out of the way.
I
And
thought he killed himself.
it looked like it hurt so bad. Like we were talking earlier about the Kingston bump through the table, and that looked bad. Like this looked really bad. Like I don't know. I hope Sammy's okay. It looked really, really bad.
I mean, when you see it in real speed, it looks like he just did a 630 senton and he just goes straight to the floor. Like the table didn't even attempt to stop his fall. It just was like, nope, fold in half.
Well, that's the thing about the flip. The flip accelerates him. So as he's flipping, he's speeding up and he's hitting the ground faster.
Yeah, I doubt we see him do that again in a long time.
I don't think we see him next week.
No.
I think he's taken at least a week off, and he deserves it. It was a very, very, very good match. It was one of his better matches in recent history for me. But I thought this was a great spot. They took the whole commercial break. Ty Conti comes out. She's very concerned for her boyfriend because I guess we're going to make this a storyline now, which I'm okay with. I mean, personal opinions. I have personal opinions about things, but it is what it is. Well, I still like both of them a lot.
Well, it goes to, you know, how we say that they don't insult our intelligence, and on Sammy's vlog, they're always together. So they're like, all right, put it on there. It's fine. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I get it.
I'm okay with it.
I don't want to get into personal, like, non-wrestling stuff. It's just,
I agree.
I don't know. You kind of left your fiance. Like, it's kind of a scummy thing to do, but it does, like, it has nothing to do with him as a wrestler. So, I mean, I try not to let it affect my opinion of him. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, Ty gets involved. When Ty Conti came over the barricade or came from the back to check on Sammy, I was like, oh man, they're gonna have Ty Conti and Paige Van Zant start a program tonight, which ends up, you know, happening. The whole commercial break, picture in picture, we see the Doc and the ref and Ty try to get Sammy to the back. Sammy refuses, gets back in the ring, and then we keep going. The match was pretty damn good still after that. Yeah, I thought this was a really, really good match, you know, leading up to the end. So, you know, All Ego Ethan Page tries to get involved. Ty stops him. Paige Van Zant comes out, jumps the barricade, attacks Ty. One thing leads to another, and Scorpio Sky defeats Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. This was a shocker to me.
You know, I had a feeling something was going on. I don't know why. I was just like, this match with Scorpio Sky came out of nowhere. And I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're giving him the belt just because, I don't know. And sure, I was still shocked. Don't get me wrong. I was still like, holy shit, they did it. You know what I mean? Like, that was wild.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm like, even though I'm shocked, I'm really happy for Scorpio Sky. Halfway through this match, I was actually sitting there watching, and I was thinking, man, it would be so cool if Scorpio Sky wins this match. He's been there since day one with AEW, and like, you know, he hasn't really won that big match yet. Like, he was like the first tag team champion with Kazarian, but other than that, like, he hasn't really done much.
You know how they were saying he hasn't lost a match in like 300 and something days?
Yeah.
It's because he hadn't had a match in that long. The last match he had like lost to some guy.
Yeah, so they hadn't really done much with him, and I was very happy to see him win the title. I don't think it was out of nowhere necessarily, which is why I was very surprised with the ending, because the Dan Lambert's group, American Top Team, has kind of been chasing that TNT title since before Cody, or since Cody won it.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So for me, this was just kind of a continuation of that storyline. But yeah, it was a very surprising ending. And then Paige Van Zant lays out Ty, and Scorpio lays out Sammy, and Paige Van Zant signs her AEW contract on the back of Ty Conti.
On her ass.
On her ass.
I wrote that down specifically. I wrote Paige signs her contract right on Ty's ass.
Yeah, and that closes out what was another, we're on a streak right now. We should start counting how many weeks of an excellent AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, absolutely. Now real quick, that Paige Van Zant finish there leads me to want to speak about something you and I have been talking about. We kind of thought that Paige Van Zant was still going to be feuding with Brandy somehow. This definitely puts a wrench in our little theory there. So,
yep. So this is Code Watch 2022.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
Watch, I
nice.
like it.
That's the first incident where it does concern me. I don't know. I mean, it still just doesn't make sense to me. It still seems like a work. I've been very clear about it in the past. Like I'm a huge Cody fan, and I'm super appreciative for all Cody's done. If by chance this is not a work, this whole Cody leaving because he wants more money and stuff like that, it would be a huge blow to have my perception of Cody Rhodes.
100%.
It would be really, really bad. It would be really rough for me. I really appreciate Cody for what he's done, and AEW doesn't happen without Cody Rhodes.
Now, let me think about this objectively just for a second here. So let's look at this from Cody's point of view right now. Do you believe Cody is on the level of Moxley, Danielson, and even Punk?
To the pro wrestling community, yes.
So what I'm thinking is if this story is true about, Tony Khan just wouldn't give him the money he was looking for, I very well could see him back in the E, and I don't think my perception of him would be as bad as I don't know. Do you see what I'm trying to get at here? Like, I'm thinking like
you're trying to justify him
going
really out and getting what he's worth.
Yeah.
I understand. No, and I understand that. And look, you should always in life, if you think you're worth something, go out and get what you're worth. Absolutely. But, that's a Rocky Balboa quote too. But like, it just seems so out of character. And like, also, I don't 100% believe that Tony Khan wouldn't pay Cody that money.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that either.
Does. Like, Cody's not just an on-screen wrestler. Like he was an EVP doing a lot of backstage work. He gives AEW more talent with the Nightmare Factory. Like he's doing all of this stuff for the company. Like if I'm Tony Khan, I'm paying him for all of that stuff, which makes the $3 million a year make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, man. Like, again, it doesn't make sense on either end. It doesn't make sense for Cody to leave, and it doesn't make sense for Tony Khan not to pay him. It just,
nothing about the entire thing makes any sense. That's why we've been so skeptical. You know what I mean?
Right. That's why I'm still saying it's a work. I mean, we're talking about this because there is a legitimate argument the other way, and we're going, I don't see myself as biased, and I don't think you're biased either. I'm going to look at this subjectively and judge it, and that's why I think it's a work. But I mean, yeah, this is a little wrinkle in that doesn't really look good, and I guess we'll just see what happens.
Yo, off subject, but Andrade just tweeted out hashtag Andrade El Idolo Company. Welcome to the Hardy Kids.
To the Hardy Kids.
Because he was calling Isaiah Cassidy in Private Party. He was calling them his kids.
That's funny.
Oh, that's good. I like it. All right, well, that's it for Code Watch. Really, just wanted to point that out that Paige Van Zant threw just a little wrench in our thing there, but you know.
I mean, I will also point out, since we're on Code Watch 2022, there was a little bit of a news story that came out over the last few days that if the talks with WWE are true, assume, like, let's, look at this again subjectively and assume that it is not a work. There was a word coming out of the Fed that Cody's camp was told to make their decision quickly. WrestleMania is approaching, and they want to know if they need to plan for Cody to be there or not.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, right now there's so much disinformation, and you don't know what to trust and what not to trust right now, and it's difficult. Still gonna give it the benefit of the doubt that it's a work, and I'm gonna think it's a work until I'm proven wrong, and then when I'm proven wrong, if I'm proven wrong, then I'll say I was wrong.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, yeah, I think it's a work, and hopefully this is just another red herring. I'm very intrigued to see what happens on April 1st on the Super Card of Honor. Maybe we see Cody there. I think that would be.
Oh,
I think that's a spot for it.
Good
I
spot.
might check out. I mean, it's a Tony Khan run operation, so I might check it out regardless. But
And he's gonna be the booker. That's nice.
yeah, I mean,
Yo, Young Bucks just tweeted out new bio, right? So I just popped their thing open. Here's their new bio. Crazy. Growing up, our favorite tag team was the Hardys, and now, fast forward all these years later, and AEW has a much better tag team called the Young Bucks. Oh, dude, I love the Bucks.
I love the Young Bucks too. They're phenomenal. All right, so let's
great.
wrap up the show with the preview for next week.
What's that?
I said let's wrap up the show with the preview for next week.
Yeah, let's do it. Rampage for next week. What do we got going on? Or for this week?
So Rampage for Friday, we have Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Martinez.
Yes.
I think this is.
Give me some
I'm
Jamie
excited for this
Hayter.
match.
I love me some
very
Jamie
excited
Hayter.
Yes. It's going to be a very good match, and I need to see more Jamie Hayter. She's really good. We have Darby Allin with Sting versus Mark Quinn with Isaiah Cassidy.
What was that one?
This is going to be. It's Darby Allin versus Mark Quinn, and Sting and Isaiah Cassidy will be in their corners.
Okay, so Mark Quinn is the other guy in Private Party, right?
Yes.
Man, I can never remember that guy's name. All right, I'll remember that now.
I just remember it because Mark ends in a Q and Quinn starts with a Q. That's why I always remember it. It's Mark.
Oh,
Quinn.
It does. Mark ends with a Q. Okay.
Well, yeah, his Mark does. Yes.
Like Mark Marrow back in the day.
No, I think Mark Marrow was MARC.
Oh, you're probably right.
But anyway, I think this will be a fun match. I probably see Darby Allin going over here. I would be very surprised to see Mark Quinn defeat Darby Allin.
Yeah, that'd be a shocker. But that'd be a shocker. That'd be really odd, but
unless there's like some sort of interference, maybe
that's what I'm thinking. There's got to be something. Something's gonna happen there. It might even just end in a DQ, and we'll have a 3-way sometime or something.
I don't know. We'll see. And then we also have QT Marshall versus Keith Lee. So QT will. He said you're gonna pay for it, and I guess he's gonna pay for it on Friday.
Yeah, he's gonna pay for it with an Uncle Phil across the universe.
Yeah.
I can't
and
wait
then we
for
get
that.
we get the debut of Shane Swerve Strickland versus Tony Nese.
Great match to start with. Both guys are former NXT. I'm pretty sure they had an absolute banger of a match in NXT, but I could be wrong. But my brain's either has some false memories or that it happened.
Well, they were talking about having matches on Friday, so I would assume they had SmackDown matches.
Okay, maybe they had it on SmackDown.
I think that's a safe assumption. Again, I haven't seen those matches, but they mentioned them earlier that he's like, well, we used to have feuds on Friday nights. Let's keep it going with Friday Night Rampage. So
wasn't NXT on Friday nights when Rampage first came? Or no, that was Dynamite.
No.
I don't know. It was Dynamite. It was on Wednesday against Dynamite. That's what it was.
Yeah, Dynamite was against
Yeah.
NXT. Yeah.
Then they moved it to Tuesday. All right.
Yep. All right, so that's Rampage. I think it's going to be a really packed Rampage. We got 4 matches on that Rampage card, so I'm expecting not too many promos. I'd be very. I mean, then again, they do kind of move through it really quickly on Rampage. So
Yeah, the Keith Lee match is probably going to be short. He's probably going to squash QT.
yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then so for next week we have St. Patrick's Day Slam. We are looking at right now just 2 matches on the card. We have the steel cage match for the AEW Women's Championship. We have Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. I am expecting Thunder Rosa to win this match and win the Women's Championship.
So that's next week, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I absolutely expect Thunder Rosa to win this match. Again, sorry, Jordan. I know you want Britt to keep the belt there, but absolutely expect Thunder Rosa to win this match. Gonna be a lot of upset fans if she doesn't, because there was already some upset people at Revolution. But that brings me to a point with AEW. Whenever we say let it play out, it plays out every time, and it plays out well. In the E, when people say let it play out, I'm like, where is it? Well, it doesn't play out at all, ever. You know what I mean? This is just a really good example of, at Revolution, we knew what happened. They made it real clear to us right away. She's got a match with with Leila Hirsch. We all knew it was going to be a steel cage match. So, let it play out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I think it's a great comparison to make. It's the truth, That's why we sit here every, twice a week, 3 times for pay-per-view weeks, and we talk about AEW and we talk about what they do, and it's not always perfect, but at the end of the day, we love it because it tries. And, it doesn't insult our intelligence, and everything makes sense. Whether we agree with it or not, everything has a purpose, everything has a reason.
Yep.
That does not happen in the sports entertainment world. Does not happen. We say let it play out.
Yep.
I sat there and watched The Fiend get squashed by Bill Goldberg in Saudi Arabia for blood money.
He's still buried in the
30
desert.
seconds. And yeah, and where's the payoff for that? People told me let it play out. Like where's that at? Like what happened with that? What happened?
God.
Yeah, I just yeah, it's not good. One day we'll have this podcast. We'll have a podcast just about why
Dude,
I'm so.
We're gonna do our own dark side of the. We're gonna do the dark side of the broken table, and it's gonna be an entire episode about what they did to Bray Wyatt to win them.
No, it should be about what they did to us.
Yeah, to us, but still, it'll be all about that.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about. Trust me, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is the catalyst of why I will never, in all my life, ever again, be a fan of the Fed.
Yeah, I give him a shot every once in a while. I tune in for a few minutes, and I'm just like, bleh, there we go, bye. So.
Yep. Nope. They lost a customer that day. Keep in mind these are all services that provide for their customers, and the Fed has not done a very good job in years of making me feel like a valued customer. So therefore, I am no longer a customer of that company.
Exactly. All right, man. So give this give this episode of Dynamite a rating. What you got out of 5?
That's tough. See, you're the guy that ranks these Dynamites.
I know, right?
I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I thought it was really, really good. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it was some excellent promo work. Had a lot of story, continuation, shakeups. A lot of shakeups tonight, if you think about it. Debuts, signings, heel turns, face turns. It was really content heavy in terms of the next cycle.
Watching Sammy go through that table, man. I was gonna give this like a 4.5. But I have this Sammy thing on repeat. Somebody made a GIF of it. GIF, whatever you want to say.
It's a GIF.
this is a 5 out of 5 show, man. We had Hangman.
Really?
We had a Hangman defense. We had a Jericho heel turn, new faction. We had a Jeff Hardy debut. We had the best shout out to the Broken Table podcast by Sammy and Eddie I've seen in a while. I'm saying it. This is up there with some of the best episodes Dynamite's ever done.
That's super surprising because that month of Dynamite leading up to Revolution was, in my opinion, way better than tonight. I mean, like, not way better. It was
Yeah.
better than tonight.
I was
Tonight
being a
was
little
phenomenal.
stubborn back then. I think if I went back and watched some of them, I may give them another 5 out of 5, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I usually don't rate a whole show. So like that's, yeah. I mean, I would probably agree with you. I think that a lot of the last, month or so has been 5 stars. Tonight, very good show. Not really a lot to critique except for some pacing issues here and there and stuff like that. But overall, I thought it was an excellent show.
Yeah.
Next week we also do have that TNT title match though. On Dynamite,
Oh,
where it'll
with
be
Wardlow.
Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow.
Whew. Whew.
Scorpio Sky is going to win this match because MJF is going to come out and destroy Wardlow.
Absolutely.
That's where this is going to go.
Absolutely.
MJF's going to come out probably with Sean Spears, maybe with FTR. Again, I don't really know what's going on with them right now.
We'll see.
And they're going to dismantle Wardlow probably before the match even starts.
Yeah, you're probably right. But we'll get to that after Rampage. That'll give us something to talk about after Rampage. See if anything happens on Rampage that has to do with that.
Yep, definitely.
But right on, man. Thanks for joining us tonight. And Jordan, thank you for joining us as well.
Yep, appreciate it, man.
Right on, man. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.